What's up, guys? This is Bulvi the Fell-Handed. Today I have something very special. We have some guest footage from Steel Titan in his captured King Tiger. We are on highway, standard battle. The greens have taken the northeastern spawn and the reds the southwestern. Now, being in a heavy tank, we are immediately going to head to the city. Now, there are no clickers, no artillery, so we should be okay there. Now, while we're going to the city, I'm just going to go over a little bit about the tank. The impressive thing about this bad boy is it has 72 rounds, which, gives you a good assortment of AP, APCR, and high explosive. Now, your standard damage for this bad boy is 240. That's a little bit different than your standard gun you're going to have on most Tiger 2s, King Tigers, because you can kind of upgrade to the 10.5 or the 105mm. Now, your penetration for armor piercing is 212, which ironically enough is the same exact number as the STA-2. Very punchy gun. So, you can do a lot of work even with standard AP rounds versus, say, for example, your Freedom, your Super Pershing, that kind of has abysmal penetration with its standard round. So for a premium, yes, you get some good penetration. It only goes up to 259 if you have to run APCR. Now that being said, that kind of gets you up there so you can kind of tango with some 10s. 259 is a pretty decent penetration. 400 meter view range and absolute blistering rate of fire, which is very impressive. Now, guys, this does not have premium matchmaking. I'm going to go ahead and mention that right now before we get right into it. Now, if you'll notice here, Titan has pulled himself into a perfect crossfire location. What he's doing is he's going to be farming the reds as they move into position. We put an excellent round there into the drive wheel of the Tiger right there. We're going to pull up, sneak another one in him. Unfortunately, we traded. We are going to go ahead and just DPM the mess out of him. We put another one there into his drive wheel. Don't forget the German tanks, most of them have the drive wheel on the front instead of the rear. Now, this gentleman right here, I believe he thinks he's side scraping. I watched this footage before. I didn't know what he was doing, or possibly if he doesn't have repairs or repair kit. We are just immobilizing him round after round. There's not a lot he can do there. We put a round into the tier 10 as it zoomed by. Guys, this is essentially the Tiger 131 on crack. You've got more armor. I mean, blistering rate of fire. The damage, isn't necessarily there for tier 8, but you know what? It makes it up with rate of fire. Moving on. So as you can see here, guys, we've taken quite a beating just right off the jump. We bounced around there, and we're going to pull up and get into a little bit better of a side scraping position, because kind of where we were, they moved up and they're hiding behind the dead compadres, which is no good for us. So we've managed to pull up right there at the last second into some good side scraping action. Pull back, put another one right through his mantlet, and then he managed to track us. Now, guys, for those of you that may be new, if you are side scraping and getting tracked non-stop, you're doing it right. that is what you want. You want the tracks to eat the rounds, not you. Put another one right there in the lower plate, and we get tracked again. Yes, sirree, Bob, we are doing it right. Now, we are going to have a little bit of situational awareness going on here. We have guys on our left as well as our right, so we have to be very cautious. We do happen to put a round in the back of that gentleman. Go ahead and track him. We've got some stuff moving to our left and our right, so we kind of have to keep our head on a swivel. We can't just focus on the gentleman on our right. Put another round in the tracks there. Go ahead and slow him down a little bit. Got one right into the side, and man, we managed to bounce that one. At this point, we say, you know what, GG everybody, game's over. There's nothing that can be done. Not really sure what this gentleman is doing. He's kind of giving up the side, which, you know what, Titan is going to take advantage of. And then boom, back to the garage with you. Fantastic gun work right there. Of course, then again, he was helped by the red, who just gave up the shots. You know what? If they're going to give up the shots, guys, take them. Now, we took one to the chin right there. We're going to go ahead and pull back into side scraping mode. The other gentleman right here is just kind of posted up in the middle of the train tracks right there with no cover. Think of it as an infantry. You know, you never want to be out in the open without cover. Same thing goes for tanks in World of Tanks. You know, you need to have that cover. You need, you know, something to protect you that can't be destroyed in between you and the bad guy. Now, we're going to post up here for a minute. We don't really have any health to gamble with. We're doing, you know, we're kind of doing the side scrape shuffle there. And guys, you know, it's always good to make those micro movements. Just because, you know, you never know what's going to knock off somebody's shot. We're waiting for that gent to our left to get in, get him distracted. We're going to pull out, we're going to peek, we're going to fire one right into him. And Titan's using that old trick of looking around the corner in third person to see what he's doing. We're going to put one in his manlet, but you know what, it's too late. He's already dead. But he's off the board. That's the important thing. That gentleman was a big piece of the puzzle for this particular flank. We're going to come around the corner, put a clutch shot in that gentleman, and then, you know, we look up and we say, hey, they are posted up at our cap, so we're going to go ahead and turn and head directly back towards our cap. Now, as you can see, the Reds are definitely ahead on tanks. We're going to see if we can't pull up here and possibly kind of even that up. Now, we have to be very, very careful because, you know what, if we rush in and get killed, it's not going to do anyone any good. And with our health the way it is, you know, you don't necessarily want to rely on the armor if you don't have to. You'd much rather just kind of pull up and put some rounds. Now, we do have a very, very good idea where they're at, so we don't really want to pull up and be spotted. We're going to put a round on this gentleman right here to our 12 o'clock, and we immediately pull back into side scrape mode. Of course, we don't need to because he gets destroyed right away. So now we have a little bit of breathing room, and hopefully we're going to pull up in this Yag Tiger is going to be not paying attention. We put one into his lower plate, it looked like, and now we're essentially just going to be very cautious here. We stick another one in him, and you can rest assured he is looking at us. He has eyes on us. We stick another one into him. T-28 Prot looks like drives across in front of us, and you know, they're kind enough to give it up right there. For some reason, he thought he could cross over in front of a high DPM tank, and he gets punished for it. So right now, you know, as you can see here, we have another heavy out in the distance. The playing field is definitely getting leveled right now. We're trying to put some rounds through the turret area. I've got some good side shots there on the turret. Managed to stick one in the side right there. The 212 millimeters penetration is really helping us out right about now. And we're going to go ahead and push up. There's only 2 of them left, one of them being a Stark. You have to be very cautious about that Stark because it has an amazing, amazing gun. So, you know, in our case, I mean, you know, even a high X would almost kill us. So we have to be very cautious. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the greens. Once we get the cap situation taken care of, we're going to let the greens do the spotting for us. Preferably we can stay outside of view range. And guys, this is exactly what we did earlier. You know, you saw the green medium tank go in first, and because we kind of slowed up for a second, and that was by design. You want to use everything on the battlefield. You know, you don't want, you know, some people have, they say, well, you know, I don't want to use premium rounds or what have you. It's silly if you don't use everything you have at your disposal to win, and that includes teammates. So just, you know, food for thought. So here we go. We've got a AT right here on the cap. We pull up and just put an amazing shot into the side of him, get him off the board. We've only got one gent left. This is the Stark. We have to be very cautious of this guy. We know he's at the cap. That was the last time we saw him. And now we're going to head over that way. But at the same time, you know, we don't want to be first over there. We don't really have the health to tango with this gent. We do have good view range, but you know what? Those TDs, they get in the bush, they get their camo net up. You're not going to see them. They're going to see you first. They're going to obliterate you. So we know that. Titan knows that. He's being cautious. And that's really what it comes down to. is in this game you need to know when to be cautious, and you need to know, when to throw your weight around a little bit. Earlier in the game, we were throwing a weight around. We were, taking on all comers. But now, we want to survive till the end of this game. So we have to be a little cautious. And we're going to wait on the greens. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've got 5 minutes. We have plenty of time for them to get in position. And as you can see there, we've got a medium across the board there, pushing up into their spawn. Going to see if he can get eyes on something. So essentially, guys, what we have here is a game of cat and mouse. You don't want to push up too much, but at the same time, we need to get this thing done. We have a little bit of cover here that we can possibly back behind, might take a round. But if you notice, we are definitely outside of 445 meters, but at the same time, we're within radio range. So this is totally by design. We want to be able to get shots in, but we don't want to be spotted. So there we go. We have him right there. But you can tell that we don't have clear LOS. We're going to go ahead and move up now that we know that he can't possibly make a shot and nail us because he was behind cover. It looks like he's behind one of those farmhouse building type situations, and you know what? We've got plenty of rounds, as I discussed earlier. We're going to go ahead and fire some of these bad boys through there, see if we can't break down some of his cover. Now, we do have to be a little cautious. These things, man, these Stalks are fast, but when they're moving and when they're not locked down, the accuracy is just all over the place. So it's kind of iffy, and it does take a little bit of time to switch modes, so you have to keep that in mind. So, all these things we are taking into account. We thought we had a good shot right there, but, he's doing a really good job of staying dug in. In these Swedish TDs, once they get into cover, in the hold down, there's not really a whole lot to shoot at, and that's by design. Does it make an attractive tank? Not necessarily. Does it make an effective one? Yes. Moving on. So, we're on his cap. He's not crazy about it. If I had to make a random shot in the dark, we are detected right now. He does have contact with us. We're going to keep buildings in between us and him. The downside is they are obviously destructible, so we have to use that to our advantage somehow. We're still trying to chip away a little bit at his cover, but you know what? We don't necessarily want him to know where we're at. These bad boys are a little tricky to pin. He thought he could fire through the cover and nail us. He cannot. Luckily, he took a round at us, but we know, the DPM on that particular vehicle, it's not quite so good. It's a good gun. It just doesn't pump out the rounds. So we knew we had a little bit of time to pull up. We're going to try to maybe pull up around here, sneak one in while he's not looking, put one in his track. And now essentially we're just waiting on the gent to our right there. We put another one in his track. We're going to pull up, and bam, he is finished off. Fantastic work. Fantastic game. Teamwork there at the end. The team came together. Everybody did what they're supposed to do. 6501 straight damage. 2464 assist. 3950 blocked damage. 28 penetrations. Amazing game. This really shows what this bad boy can do. Amazing game. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed this. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. If you'd like me to feature your footage on my channel, send it to ByzantineFalcon on Facebook. We'll see you guys next time.